Good evening and welcome to the fastest half hour on the cryptid world, This Week in Bigfoot, the news show that scours the internet and the Bigfoot community each and every week so you don't have to. Then we take it and wrap it up in a nice, neat 30-minute package. If it has to do with Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or the Wildman, we've got it all covered. And boy, I tell you, there's a lot going on this week, kids. MK's back with his very own upgrade to the PG film. Legend Meets Science 2 official Kickstarter video comes out, and we're going to show it to you. Snowwalker gives us another bang in 2 minutes, and is it a moose or a Bigfoot? You make the call. It's going to be another good one, folks, so you better buckle up. We got a long way to go and a short time to get there. Let's do this.
911, what are you reporting?
We someone or something crawling around out here. Get somebody out there.
What's going on now, sir?
That son of a bitch is about 6'9", I don't know. He's all black, he's big. He is big.
Not to be outdone by recent upgrades to the Patterson GIMLIN film by tech wizards such as the Rundown's Rowan Chung, MK Davis recently released his latest improvement of the famous film. In a video posted to the Davis Report, the researcher with the cult-like following flexed his imagination and gave the creature an image upgrade all his own. Let's take a look at exactly what MK was up to.
Hello, I'm MK Davis. What you're looking at is an animation. It's an animation from the Patterson Bigfoot film. It's a copy of the film. It begins with a copy of the film until it gets to frame 350. Then it enlarges it, and then you see a much clearer image of the film subject's face. This is from a frame that was leaked to the internet back in the 90s from the master copy of the film. That is the film that was in Roger Patterson's camera. Somebody leaked it. They had tried to filter it to boost the contrast, and it is a spectacular frame. And you can only suppose that the rest of the film that it came from were just equally as good. But we had this one particular frame, and it survives the 90s on into the 2000s, and then along comes the more modern types of software. The more modern types of software includes AI upscaling, which was employed. And I want to show you by comparing it to the older copy. And I want you to know and appreciate there's the leaked frame, the filtered frame. Now, as you see, it's going to fade gradually into the upscaled. You see, there's nothing has been added to it. You can see everything on the upscaled image is on that frame that was leaked back in the 90s. But it's hard to see. And the upscaling makes it much easier to see. And in doing so, it becomes easier to make a good judgment on what it is. For all of us. But now it has been. I could watch this all day.
Now, while this viewer finds it hard to believe that Patty had both a twinkle in her eye and food in her teeth, I did find it funny that MK put that in there. I can't help wondering about the timing of his release of this work, though, considering the fact that Is It All and Ketchum were back on the news. I have a strange feeling that he didn't want to be left out, and I'm sure this isn't the last we'll hear of our friend MK this year.
We have yet another intriguing piece of potential visual evidence that appears to come from our neighbors up north and has been making appearances in the Bigfoot online communities. Facebook user Delaney McKay posted a video that he claims was sent to him and seems to ask if it was taken at or near a place called Moose Lake, Manitoba Road. Although details on the video's backstory are scant, it was reportedly taken in a northern Manitoba community called Moose Lake. Moose Lake, the video's presumed location, is located about 55 miles west of Lake Winnipeg and is about 15 to 20 miles southeast of Clearwater Lake Provincial Park. The 12-second clip has been shared over 450 times and garnered more than 51,000 views on Facebook. Commenters appear split on whether the figure in question is a moose, bear, squatch, or something else. The outside conditions appear consistent to what they should be at this time of year in northern Manitoba. The subject in question definitely appears to be a solid dark color, either black or brown, and the figure seems like it's moving at a remarkably fast pace, with some even noting it almost appears to be gliding. So I took the still shot at the video's 0-second mark at the very beginning and zoomed in on our figure. I don't know about you, but seeing this gives me reason to believe that what we're looking at here is probably a moose or a bear and nothing cryptozoological.
In the second episode of This Week in Bigfoot, our lead story was Doug Hychek and his pursuit of putting into full production the long-awaited sequel to his groundbreaking documentary, Sasquatch, Legend Meets Science, regardless of network support.
I had a timeline 2 years ago.
Okay.
Then COVID hit.
Yeah.
And then I hooked up with a network that said, oh, well, we're interested. They strung me along a long time. Finally got a no. Mm-hmm. Then I hooked up with another network. They strung me along. Then I hooked up with recently, even IMAX. I met with them. They were interested in it and doing a 3D IMAX movie, turning Legend Meets Science. So that took, time. And eventually I got a no on that. So now it's just little old me again.
Since then, the award-winning director has not only continued the film's rigorous pre-production, but he's also launched the official Kickstarter video aimed at raising the $80,000 needed to fund the ambitious project. We here at the Catskill Appalachian Research Collective are proud to pick up the flag and help support the biggest and most crucial science program Doug will ever produce, Sasquatch, Legend Meets Science 2. To show you all that this isn't just a news segment for this week's show, just prior to filming this episode, I went online, chose a level, and donated, and I put CARC money where my mouth is. Now, you can pitch in anything from $10 and up, but I think it's a very important project and it's very worthwhile, so I think you should do it if you can. Now, even at the $10 level, you'll get your name on the screen, your name in the credits, and I think that's pretty freaking cool. I can't think of anything more exciting than to have your name on the screen linked with the likes of Doug Hychek, Jeff Meldrum, and other big-name researchers that'll be involved with this project. This is a project that's unlike anything that's been done or will be done for a very, very long time. So let's go ahead and take a look at the official Kickstarter video, and we'll talk about it afterwards.
In the depths of our world's most remote and uncharted forests, an enigma has captivated the hearts and minds of people for generations. Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Yeti. This legendary creature has been known by many names, but its existence remains one of the greatest mysteries of our time. Now we invite you on a thrilling journey into the unknown with Legend Meets Science 2, a groundbreaking documentary that will change everything you thought you knew about Bigfoot. Join us as we uncover never-before-seen strategies and cutting-edge technology that could finally reveal the truth about this elusive creature. Witness exclusive footage captured using innovative camera traps designed specifically for this enigmatic being. But what makes these camera traps so unique? And how will they revolutionize our understanding of Bigfoot? Discover how an ingenious invention, a remote-controlled interactive robot, might change everything we know about this mysterious creature. Explore fascinating theories behind Bigfoot's extraordinary abilities and uncanny ability to evade capture. Could certain individuals hold the key to finally capturing this mysterious creature on film? Delve into cutting-edge research and analysis that could provide vital clues about this enigmatic being. Separate fact from fiction as we examine popular hoaxes and analyze what sets genuine evidence apart. Join experts as they unravel astonishing insights into the true nature of Bigfoot. Will these findings change our perception of this legendary creature forever? From analyzing footprints and dental evidence to exploring Bigfoot's diet, migration patterns, and vocalizations, our groundbreaking documentary will leave you questioning everything you thought was possible. By supporting our groundbreaking documentary film series, Legend Meets Science 2, you'll not only be part of a monumental quest for knowledge, but also receive incredible rewards that will make your experience even more unforgettable. As a token of our immense gratitude, we'll immortalize your name in the credits of our groundbreaking documentary. You'll forever be linked to this epic journey as we explore the enigmatic world of Sasquatch together. Pledge your support now, and you'll receive 3 signed DVDs, Legend Meets Science and Legend Meets Science 2 Part 1 and Part 2. Plus, proudly display 2 stunning signed posters from both films, an eye-catching reminder of your contribution to this extraordinary project. The time to act is now. Pledge your support and help us bring the truth about Sasquatch to light. Meet Doug Hychek, the visionary filmmaker who has captivated audiences with his groundbreaking work in wildlife research and cryptozoology. With over 270 TV features to his name, including the hit series Monster Quest on the History Channel, Doug is a respected industry leader, credentialed technologist, camera systems inventor, and wildlife researcher. Doug has documented never-before-seen behaviors in animals such as black bears, beavers, fish, and invertebrates. His team even captured the first-ever footage of a free-swimming true giant squid in its natural environment for the History Channel. But Doug's true passion lies in unraveling the mystery of Bigfoot. With decades of experience researching both known animals and yet-to-be-proven cryptids, he is uniquely positioned to deliver a captivating documentary that explores this enigmatic world. Introducing Scott Hoffman, an award-winning cameraman with an unyielding passion for capturing the extraordinary. Having traversed through 38 countries in search of breathtaking footage, Scott brings unparalleled expertise to this project. Armed with state-of-the-art 6K and 8K red digital cinema cameras and an extensive array of camera movement tools, Scott is ready to capture unprecedented footage that will leave audiences speechless. Together, Doug Hychek and Scott Hoffman form an unstoppable team, a perfect blend of passion, expertise, and technological prowess. They are more than qualified to bring this ultimate Bigfoot documentary to life, but they need your help. Support their Kickstarter campaign today and join them on this extraordinary journey as they uncover the truth about Bigfoot. Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime?
Now, because this is only a half-hour show, we didn't have time to run the full video. Those are just the highlights, but I will put the link to it in the description, and we will continue to monitor the fundraising progress and get back to you with any news from Doug's camp. We wish him all the best of the luck in raising the funds. So go online, donate, let us know in the comments section when you do, and we'll give you a shout-out in next week's show.
Are you ready for the adventure of a lifetime?
Today's episode of This Week in Bigfoot is sponsored by Got Knockers Apparel and Clothing. From hoodies and caps to soaps, keychains, and bats, Got Knockers has everything you need to show your love of Bigfoot. For more information and to shop their items, be sure to visit the Got Knockers page on Facebook at facebook.com/Got Knockers. Hey, Got Knockers?
Hey, this is Chuck Larson. You're watching the CARC channel on YouTube.
Our next report takes us even further into northern Canada. These images were posted on a researcher named Robert Judd's YouTube channel called Swan Lake Bigfoot. They're 2 of the same image, an alleged still shot from one of Judd's recent videos. The bizarre image was allegedly taken during one of his visits to a place he calls the Seven Creeks location, where he's allegedly monitoring a clan of Bigfoot he refers to as the Seven Creeks clan. Mr. Judd claims he heard this alleged Sasquatch while it was behind him and said he used filters that brought out certain details in the image. He allegedly caught the so-called tree peeker about halfway through reviewing his footage from the trek. Mr. Judd reportedly believes he caught one of the clan's younger squatches on video, and them getting this close to him could be a sign that he's earning their trust. Earlier this week, Mr. Judd released a video showing the footage where this alleged tree peeker was caught, so we'll go ahead and play that clip right now.
But yeah, you will see and hear and experience more when you're in the bush.
Zoomed in, cleared up, filtered in, filtered out. No matter what you do, seeing the subject at this particular angle really makes it appear less like it's something on its own and perhaps more like something that's an actual part of the tree. But that's just one opinion, and it ties into one of the reasons why skeptics are largely dismissing these images as another case of pareidolia. Based in Northwest Alberta, Mr. Judd says he's been involved in Bigfoot research for decades. Most of his videos seem to show clips of him hiking through his research areas, including the aforementioned Seven Creeks location. He frequently analyzes still shots that he believes contain images of squatches, usually hiding in the brush or tree lines. Despite delving into more wooish topics like portals, Mr. Judd seems to be doing dedicated research who genuinely believes in his findings and has a very active following. Stories like these are a great opportunity to remind our viewers that we here at the CARC actively investigate witness reports. We can keep your story confidential, investigate the location where it happened, even feature your story on one of our featured documentaries. Especially if you live in or near the Catskill Appalachian area, you can reach out to me directly with your story or email the show.
More help is on the way.
Friends and family aren't giving up.
Questioned a little bit why the local people weren't utilized more in the beginning of the search.
Seemed odd to me, I guess, to pick that area to go and hunt, but...
And you just talk to me, don't worry about that.
Okay.
There we go.
The Adirondacks are obviously a rugged territory. It's very mountainous.
On the weekends, all these chairs were full.
Well, that's kind of a misnomer. The tree isn't actually the last known point.
So the first two times we've kind of been sweeping perpendicular to the road.
I think if he was going to be found, he would have been found by now.
I personally don't think he could have gotten too far from where he was.
He's kind of going more or less in the direction of the line, away from him up to the...
He didn't get missed in there. There's no way. They had divers in the bodies of water. Everything was searched. He didn't get missed in there.
Well, that's a big deal because we were talking about where to look.
If I get that call from you, we're going to come in, myself, probably some other police agencies are going to come in and take control of that scene.
Everybody thinks that they were lined up right.
All of that over a beer can.
Castle.
It looks like it's that time again, folks. Part of the show where we give content creator Michael Merchant screen time to speak his mind to get what's ever bothering him off his chest. We call it 2 Minutes With.
If you exclude a bunch of data, you exclude the crazies, the woo, the UFOs, the orbs, the mind speak, the cloaking, levitation, then sure, you can squeeze that square peg into a round hole and say it's a physical creature. This is part of the fiasco that the skeptics have been able to take advantage of, is that even the believers and the knowers can't agree on what Sasquatch is. For the most part, the indigenous people will put forth that it's a deeply powerful spiritual creature that exists between the worlds and walks between them. The skeptics, of course, will just wipe it all away. They won't even look at the evidence that is presented, instead using logical fallacies and straw man arguments to try to discredit the eyewitnesses, claim that all the tracks at Double Bear prints are fakes, footage is CGI'd or guys in suits, but they won't back up their narrative with any hard science. They won't duplicate the suit. If it's a suit, Patterson footage is a suit, why are you not wearing it? Why have you not duplicated it? The tracks are all double bear tracks. Where are the examples of double bear tracks that look like Sasquatch footprint? I've yet to see a single one. They tell us that every single solitary eyewitness is compromised, suffering under a variety of cognitive impairing mental ailments, which statistically is impossible. They'll claim that all the sightings are fleeting, in the dark, in the sandstorm, or in a solar eclipse of the sun, by lonely, sad, deluded, mentally compromised people. And yet they won't back up their narrative with any facts. The Sasquatch phenomenon is real. The only real question is, what is it? What the hell is it? I think it's silly and trollish to claim that there's no phenomenon. It absolutely is, going back tens of thousands of years, hundreds of thousands of eyewitnesses. About high time that the skeptics and the serial debunkers fessed up. Stop playing their silly little games. Instead of wasting our time debating with these chucklehead nincompoops who just want to waste our time, check out the Catskills Appalachian Research Collective and their weekly 30 minutes of Bigfoot. It's awesome. They're very tricky over there. They've aligned themselves with everybody, believers and skeptics alike. They're gonna be huge. And I am featured with my two-minute rant weekly. No, with all seriousness, it's probably the best 30 minutes of Bigfoot content come around in a long time. You won't be disappointed. I'll put a link in the bottom bar. Do you feel like it? You want some awesome content? You might consider subscribing. Tell them Snowwalker Prime sent you.
Tonight's edition of This Week in Bigfoot is sponsored by Broken Branch Designs. From outerwear and clothing to home and garden decor, Broken Branch Designs has everything to do with Sasquatch. For more information, visit brokenbranchdesignsllc.com. It's time to catch you up to speed on a couple of recent podcasts and live streams. First up, the Outcast Paranormal crew sits around the Hammock or Schlemmer fire pit discussing their ideal research locations. Let's check this one out.
It's been on my mind for a while, and I've been trying to figure out how to do it, like realistically do it, because I don't think it'll actually cost that much.
What, switch hands?
That'll cost a lot.
Feels weird, but get into it. It's nice. Give your arm a break, man.
No, I want to set sail into the Bermuda Triangle.
Ooh.
To UFO hunt.
Nope. That's ballsy. That's big.
Talking from two people who fuck that, bro.
Big. How far out? How far out? Like
I want to be in the center of the Bermuda Triangle, and I want to sit there and try and summon UFOs for like a week straight.
Hell yeah! Look at the.
Hell yeah! Me and Matt will take care of that investigation if you guys
go ahead, bro.
Chicken shit.
Go ahead. I ain't getting on that.
I'll watch from the shoreline with a Mai Tai and a big old.
It's not the Bermuda Triangle part. I don't know if you've fucking been that far offshore before, but I have and spent a lot of fucking time offshore.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck that. Like, how big is the boat you talking?
Oh, God, say small, say small.
No, 34 foot was what we was in.
It's me rowboat.
12-foot John boat.
It's me rowboat.
Right? You know, crazy as shit.
Trolling motor,
hey, crazy as shit. On slick-ass calm days, we'd be 100 miles offshore, be homeboy out there in a fucking John boat.
Yep.
Way the fuck. I was like, what are you going to do if the weather turns, bud?
Bro, I've seen him out at Sea Tower.
Oh, this is fucking way out past that.
He's like, meth makes me a superhero.
Like, good Lord. But
I read Beowulf.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know, because it's not that it's a Bermuda Triangle, but there's just so much shit that could go wrong when you're out there, and nobody's coming to help.
Who was that man in the Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band jacket? Batting second this week, Lynn Smith with the Bigfoot Project. In this recent upload, Lynn reads the story of a 14-year-old boy in Mississippi who goes fishing and ends up watching Bigfoot take a mud bath.
I was all alone fishing with my own gear on a perfect June morning. Suddenly, close to the bank, I heard a large splash. It was common to hear those noises in the flooded timber and never see what had made those noises, but this was a big splash, like a tree had fallen over. I fished on, then another splash from the same area to which I was much closer in, and I could see movement on the bank. I focused in on what it was, and about 40 yards away, I saw a huge animal standing upright, covered in black and brown hair. I wasn't afraid because there was plenty of distance between us, so I stood on the bow of the boat, perfectly motionless, fishing rod in hand, and watched this thing. It was stooped over in a squatting position, scooping water with its hands and throwing it on its shoulders and back. Every now and then it would look around as if checking to see if anything was watching. I was in view of this thing because I could see him clearly, but the thing never looked directly at me, even though as he panned the woods, his eyes should have made contact with me. Then it stood up. That's when I got a bit nervous. This thing was really big. Not just tall, but it was wide too. I have no idea of the dimensions or anything like that. I just know it was big. It walked away from my direction until he was up to a little bit above his ankles. Then it laid down in the water and started rolling in the shallow mud. It rolled over and over, caking and covering himself with the gumbo mud that was prevalent in the Mississippi Delta.
Next up, we follow our pals Brian and Chewy go hiking as they revisit the Granite State Bigfoot case and trek to the location of Small Town Monster's very first Beyond the Trail episode. Let's roll it.
I have audio of it where basically I was hanging out, changing out the game camera batteries, and I went up to an area and I was just sitting there and I did really, and I could cup my hand and there was a good echo in that area. And that's when I got those 4 knocks back. Right. One of them was super woody. It was like a dink. 3 were just dink. I have audio of that too. I have it recorded. I think I'd sent it to you because I'd asked you, do you know if there was anybody doing any work around your property or something? Because right. I always like to check, you know. Yeah. But it was weird. It happened then. And as I was leaving the spot, I heard it closer to me. And then I kept going. And that was the last time I had anything happen because, I mean, I haven't been to this area in such a long time. But
probably the weirdest thing, I think I told you, the weirdest thing that happened, of all the weird stuff that's happened, this is about 2 years ago. It was in September. I was up just outside looking at my apple tree, and there was this, down in the woods, straight down into the state forest from my property. It sounded like a bulldozer going through the woods, trees breaking, crashing, but there was no motor. It was just, it was unbelievable. It sounded like 2 behemoths fighting, you know, knocking down trees. And then all of a sudden I heard, like that. It wasn't a Sasquatch sound. It was something weird. Yeah. I don't know what it was.
And batting cleanup today is our old pal Jack Carey. In this clip, he talks about the stranger side of the Bigfoot enigma.
Because when you look at the Bigfoot mystery, we can trace it all the way back to ancient Samaria and the Sumerian tablets, 500,000 tablets found at the Palace of Ashurbanipal, detailed every single little facet of Sumerian life. And in that story is the story of a creature named Enkidu. And Enkidu is a spot-on match for Bigfoot, even covered in long red hair, a wild man, you know, with superhuman strength and abilities. And he was described as being 1/3 human and 2/3 deity. That's how special this creature was. And I also talk about that in my book, Bigfoot Unleashed. But the main thing I wanted to basically get across tonight is to be careful. This is more like a public safety message, I think, that I do every single year at this time of year, to all of you guys out there that are would-be cryptozoologists, that are maybe just berry pickers, maybe you're mushroom hunters, maybe you just like being in the wilderness. Be aware. be very, very aware. And be aware that not only are there 1,600 missing person cases all through the national park system of North America, of which there has not been a single trace.
All right, folks, days are getting warmer and summer's right around the corner, which means Bigfoot conferences are in full swing. We all know there's only one guy we can all turn to keep us up to speed on the who's, the what's, and the where's, and that's Chuck Larson with another great show in this week's Spotlight.
The Kiamichi Mountains Bigfoot Conference is a 3-day event featuring experts, witnesses, authors, and TV hosts from popular shows. The conference kicks off Friday, May 19th, and runs through Sunday, May 21st. Opening night on Friday is a free event at the Bigfoot Museum of Oklahoma, featuring a VIP donation ceremony and book signing. Come experience what's being tagged as the most comprehensive conference on Bigfoot ever conducted. Learn about Bigfoot from field researchers, academic professionals, eyewitnesses, and TV hosts from Missing in Alaska, Monster Quest, and Ancient Aliens. The event runs daily from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. and is fun for all ages, so bring the family. Enjoy all the activities and shop the wide array of vendors on site. Tickets for the Kiamichi Mountains Bigfoot Conference are $35 in advance, $40 day of, with 2-day passes available for a discount. And that's this week's Conference Spotlight. Brendon, take us out.
All right, folks, that's it. Looks like we're all out of time for this one. I'd like to thank you for watching and remind you to like, share, and subscribe everything we do here at the Catskill Appalachian Research Collective. And if you've got any questions or comments or maybe a story for the show, you can always drop us a line at ThisWeekinBigfoot@gmail.com. For Mike Luci and Chuck Larson, I'm Brendon Brown, reminding you that when it comes to getting your Bigfoot news, be informed, not biased. See you next week. Take care.